Hello, my friends, and welcome back to a brand new Realm News Flash. I am your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. And I have a unique episode for you all today. I am reporting to you directly after, I'm giving you my opinion after I saw the Minecraft movie on the initial release night, the opening night for the movie, Friday. I went to the 6:15 show with my girlfriend, Gaia Divine, and around 10 p.m., I sat down and I recorded my thoughts. I was tired. By the time, actually, it was closer to midnight when I sat down. I was typing up notes, and then I sat down and started recording my thoughts. But anyways, this is just like my raw thoughts. I'm tired, so don't judge me too harshly. My mind's aloof sometimes, and I'm trying there's not really a script. I don't have a script. I'm just telling you what I thought about the movie right then and there. So I hope you'll enjoy it. That's what I have for Realm News Flash today. This whole week's going to be a Minecraft movie theme because this upcoming Thursday, I have a discussion with NightSteak in depth over a Minecraft movie. Enjoy, folks. I hope you enjoy this Realm News Flash. Hello, and welcome to Realm News. I am your host, the Dark Lord. And I am recording very late, very, very late on a Saturday, soon to be, it's 11:21 Central Standard Time, and I'm winging this, folks. I just got out of a Minecraft movie, and that's what I'm going to be covering tonight. I wanted to get this. I just watched it, as I just stated. My girlfriend and I, who goes by Gaia Divine, we went to the 6:15 p.m. movie, and it was really fun. I would like to start with all that, with the lobby and that whole experience walking into the theater, which is our local AMC theater. Initially, the parking lot was just full. It was just completely full. It was hard to find parking. We kind of had to circle around a little bit. We were able to finally slip into a spot, and we made our way into the theater. And it was odd because for 6:15, that's pretty early for it to be so busy. I've never seen the parking lot that busy. I'm not really from this town. I've been here a couple years, so it was new to me to see it that busy, this parking lot. But we usually go to a later movie too, and you would think that would be busier time to go. But um, anyways, we made our way into the theater, and it was packed. There was a well-formed line of just couples or individuals going. I don't know. It went from the front of the lobby to the back, and then there's a bar area back there, and it was packed there. And my girlfriend, she said that was the busiest she's ever seen it in there. And I said, yeah, it's pretty packed. I don't know if that's the busiest I've ever been inside of a theater, but for sure it was one of the busier times. And so we got our popcorn and drinks and made our way up into the theater. And by surprise, I was wondering why these tickets cost so much. And to my surprise, I'm glad I made this mistake. I didn't realize that I purchased the IMAX tickets. And so I was like, okay, that answers that question, why it was like over $40 to go for two adult tickets. I was just like, wow, that just seems a little steep, because it didn't seem that long ago that I went to the movies. I'm trying to think of what it was, but it wasn't that much. Anyways, it was IMAX, so I was thrilled to finally see the a Minecraft movie in IMAX. And I'm sorry if I'm not looking up at the camera. I'm not used to being on camera. I'm doing this for Patreon. So those that are in watching this live right now, and yes, those that are going to be listening to this recorded, I am doing this live. And it looks like I have some chat. Somebody's in the chat here. Let me see. But yeah, welcome Moon to the spur of the moment show here. I'm glad you could make it. Anyways, as I was telling the audience, yes, I'm not used to the video. This is the second time I've done video here. So this is kind of interesting for me to do. And I'm not used to looking at the camera. And I have my notes on paper, which is unusual. I usually have on my laptop. And so I will be looking up this way when I get to some of my notes that I wrote down when I got back from the theater. And part of the reasoning of me doing this again is because I wanted to get these, since I just watched it a couple hours ago, these thoughts out fresh, and I'm not going to provide spoilers. There will be spoilers when I record with our special guest NightSteak this Sunday. That won't be live, but that will be released this upcoming Thursday. So there will probably be spoilers in that. I got in touch with him. He plans on going to it tomorrow. So we're going to convene Sunday, record that. I'm excited to do that. It'll be fun to spitball ideas back or views back and forth. Um, if you're on my Twitter, now X or Blue Sky, and have been seeing my messages, then you already know that my opinion of this movie has gone up drastically since before I watched it. Because if you've been listening to Realm News, then you have probably heard my review. I did a personal review, I believe, and one with the Sun King, and it was. Thanks for that thumbs up. Thank you. And that review was a little bit critical, or I gave a pretty well. It wasn't like I didn't give a horrible critique. It was it wasn't a great review though. I'll just say that plainly. I was saying that I didn't see Jack Black being a fitting Steve. I'll say this now. After watching the movie, my opinion of that has changed. Yeah, it's changed. I kind of shocked. It's still I'm not a huge fan of Jack Black as an actor. I like him as a person and everything, but watching it tonight, yes, it improved. So awesome. I had fun watching him be Steve. It was fun. Since I'm talking about characters, let me do a review of the characters real quick. Let me run over to my notes here. I did most of those on Twitter, so let me jump over there. Well, let me see if I can remember the character names off the top of my head. I didn't really write those down. Like I said, I'm doing this off the cuff tonight. Um, I'll start with Henry, the kid. They He did a good job as an actor for being such a young age. He did a great job as an actor, and I wasn't disappointed in any of his abilities as an actor. I'll just say that. So he did a great job. I already talked about Jack Black. I'm not giving any spoilers, so I'm just trying to think how can I say this without giving spoilers. Jack Black, he was funny at parts, and I'll just say in the overworld, it was interesting to watch him how he carried out overworld functions. It was fun to watch how the characters interacted with the video game elements, and I would say that you could see a lot of parts where Mojang was heavily involved, because it's like, okay, there was some thoughts there, even from like a player's point of view. You can see. that they got some information probably from a lot of big Minecraft creators, not necessarily podcasters, but YouTube creators. And I'll have to say this: if you watch the movie, keep your eyes out because you see a lot of well-known faces in there, and I won't say them because I'm not going to spoil anything, but just keep your eyes out. Just watch out for all the background characters and stuff. It's pretty cool. And I'm not going to go back to the theater for a second time to and pay for it to watch it, but I am excited for when this comes out and streams so I can break it down, especially in parts of the overworld. I want to break it down scene by scene because I feel like this is something I'll say. I feel like they go through the biomes awfully fast. And I get it. There's not enough time in the movie to really spend a lot of time in specific biomes. It's just I wish they would have spent a little bit more time in. I don't know. There's a lot more that you can see. There's a lot of items in Minecraft. Oh, Moon's asking how long the movie was. And I did look that up because I lost track of time. And it was an hour and 45 minutes long, which is a decent amount of time. And I'll say this, an hour and 41 minutes. Sorry, I redact that and correct myself. It's an hour and 41 minutes long. And I'll say that it went by quite fast. That was a good question, Moon. Thank you for asking that. I would probably remember to say that. But that was it went by really fast for it being nearly, going towards the 2-hour mark. I wasn't bored watching this. So, because I think it was because my eyes were always looking at the scenery, trying to find stuff that wasn't immediately in front of the camera, because I found that I was just really focused at where the camera was pointed. And so that's why I was saying I can't wait till this stream so I can break it down scene by scene and see what was going on around the characters, because I feel like I missed a lot. I remember when I made my initial review over the trailer and was doing a lot of research into this, that I thought I read that you will see a majority of the farm animals, but I must have missed the regular pig. I missed a lot of the regular things that you would see in the overworld just because I was so captivated on the villagers. I was, in the village life was really cool. I'll say that. I'm not going to go into specifics. I'll just say I really love seeing the village life, but I'm a person that's built over 40 villages. So yeah. That was really cool. That was cool. And honestly, I remember being skeptical about the villagers. I don't know if I said that in my podcast, but I remember talking to my brother about. I was like, I don't know about how I feel about how they designed them, but I really did enjoy seeing how they did a great job with their costumes, and I know that those were real costumes, which I appreciated to learn that when I was doing the research months ago, that they had real physical costume designers that made these and everything. So that was cool. And they had real actors carry this out. And I think they just really CGI'd, or whatever you want to call that now, CGI blend with AI technology, the faces. So they had real actors incorporated in all this, which I thought was great. Let me see here. Let me ask myself some questions, and let me break down the rest of the characters. Sorry, people. I usually have a whole script laid out, so I'm just kind of all over the place. But so I kind of go over Jack Black. I'm going to go on to Garrett the Garbage Man, which Garrett the Garbage Man I criticized a lot in my past episode. I'll keep referring back to that past episode because that's there's a lot of things I want to say that, you know what? I take that back. It was better than I thought, and Garrett the Garbage Man was a better character than I thought, honestly. I didn't know where they were going with that character based on just trailers alone. I'm still not a huge fan on how they carried out the trailers. They got better on number 2, the second trailer, and the third, but um yeah, the first one really that really dismayed it for I don't know even know the word for it. But anyways, Garrett the Garbage Man, I was more impressed with it watching it in the movie. It was pretty cool. So anyways, moving on, Natalie, the brother to Henry, she was a pretty neutral role, really. I I didn't really see a huge role for her. She played the protective sister, but this is something that I noticed to me was that the scenes really just kind of they kind of went by quite fast, honestly. And that was I don't know, that was interesting to me. I think it was designed that way, the scenes skipping through fast because it was tailored more for a younger audience, and so the storyline was also a little bit more simplified, and which is typical for more younger targeted audience. But from what I'll say, and I'll tell you this right now, instead of saving this for the end of the show, or, as some people say at the beginning, I would give this a thumbs up and I will give it an 8 out of 10. Let's say that. Just my initial feelings off it, just because I think it nailed its target audience. It's goofy. It's a goofy, fun movie. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Moon says 8 out of 10. That's good. And yeah, that's better than what I would have expected and what I would have guessed. It based off the trailers, I would have leaned the first trailer. I would have went with I said 2 thumbs down. I remember that. I said I give it 2 thumbs down. I was very critical about it. But so I think that's a huge improvement jumping up to an 8, and maybe I'm going a little high. It's not something I would go back to, like I said, and pay for it twice, but it hit its target audience. It was fun for me to watch, and I will watch it again just to see what I missed, and I'm sure I missed a lot because I know there was a lot going on. The storyline, if you played Legends, I think that would you're going or even, like all the other ones, not just Legends, and oh my gosh, everybody's gonna kill me why I can't think of the other, um, Legends and then, come on, Moon, help me out here. Dungeons, thank you, I thought it was. It's late. It's getting close to midnight, and I'm getting tired. Anyways, yes, Legends and Dungeons. I think, you will really love this movie because those are incorporated into it. There's a lot elements. I'm not even going to try to get into all the names and whatnot because I'm going to mess that all up tonight. But that was fun to see the Nether and that whole dimension and that whole that whole struggle between overworld and nether and the piglins. That was fun to see. It was really fun to see the piglins. They did, I will say, I think a good job designing them, especially like their body is really gross, honestly. Um, and the nether was interesting to see. Actually, it was pretty cool. I They could have just spent a little bit more time with the elements of the nether. More would have been more I would have liked to seen more of the nether itself, maybe even a strider. Maybe I missed the strider in there, I'm not sure. The movie moves quite fast, so you just have to pay attention as it goes, I suppose. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but no, that was fun to watch. It was fun to see the nether for sure. Now let me see here. The I have a question here I wrote down. What character, and I'll be saying these out loud. What character to myself, which character in the movie did I relate to the most and why? Oh gosh, I am not sure about that. I don't think I really feel like I related to any of these characters. I'm not going to lie. These characters to me weren't that well, not that they weren't well developed. They just didn't have an extensive development. They were all very base. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that Garrett the Garbage Man, he was a person trying to live his former glory days. He was, as everybody knows, we knew about this before the movie, but he was a video game all-star in the 80s from this arcade game. And as an adult, he just tried to grasp onto that little thread of fame that he had. And so he was just kind of withheld his whole life, kind of held himself back. So you kind of see the character struggle with that throughout the movie, which is interesting. Jack Black, of course, he goes into the mines. He's yearning. His whole struggle is he wants to express himself creative, creatively, and he's held back here in the real world. So him going into the overworld, he's able to express that. So that was really cool. And they really rush you right into the overworld, like into the intro of the movie, which I like. So it really just takes you there right away. So there's really no lulls in this. There's no it just moves right along. Like I said in previous episodes, I really love seeing the diamonds. The ores were really cool. I love seeing the iron. I don't know about the diamond armor. I will say that, and that's it. I'll leave that to you. We'll break that down further on Sunday. But seeing all the gadgets and stuff that that we get to play around with, even the torches, the regular torch, that was cool. You get to see, oh yeah, I'm not even going to go there. Almost said some spoiler. Not going to say that. But Jennifer Coolidge, that was fun to see her. She's always a fun actress to have in movies. I don't know. She's funny. Um, I always remember her from American Pie. Anyways, that was a long time ago. And let's see here. Let's do a couple more questions before I leave off. I can't break this all down today because I'm waiting for NightSteak, but I don't want to do that question. Oh yes, I the soundtrack was fun. The question here I have, does soundtrack or sound design remind me of the game's iconic music and effects? There's only one scene in the movie that I really that that a that a specific song stood out, and I can't remember the title of the song. I'll have to look that up, but it was a C418 song. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken. It feels like it was one of those classic songs, but now they're all kind of jumbling together, and I don't want to get it wrong. However, it's a classic song, and it's one scene. I won't say but it's pretty funny. It has to do with the piglins, and yeah. So I don't remember Minecraft music, but that one scene. The rest was old 80s music, and I that was like fitting Garrett the Garbage Man's motif, and that kind of just carried throughout that movie. Jack Black also kind of had that same 80s motif, but they do say that they were about the same age, or if not the same age. So they were both from that era, so maybe that's why it was played throughout that. I did leave out another character. How can I forget? That it was the real estate agent named Dawn, and the actress actually Danielle Brooks, and they do a great job as well. I felt like that character really kept all the other characters, really neutralized it. I liked her character a lot. I didn't know what was up with the side gigs of her real world outside of being a real estate agent. That was a little weird, but I won't get to the specifics there either. You guys can find out yourself. But yeah, that was unusual. Yeah, so there you have it, folks. I don't really have much else I want to cover on this. I did keep my eyes out for Zetterstrand paints. I only caught the glimpse of one, and I just it was moving a lot. There's a lot to look at, so it's hard to just pinpoint something now. I mean, think of your house or your place in the overworld of all the stuff. I mean, yeah, just think of that in a movie though. It was a little bit overwhelming. It was really cool though. I'll say this too. The scene with them on the mine cards, they nailed the redstone. They nailed the redstone. That was really cool to see. The gas, I love the gas also. And with that, I'm going to end that tonight, my friends. And it was my pleasure to do this late at night. I know I sounded mostly like a bambling fool, but this is going to the Patreon. So those who were listening live, thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Um, I recommend those if you're not signed up to the Patreon, go there and you can find that. Let me dig up that link real quick. I know I should have been more prepared for that. It's Patreon/Realm News. That's simple. Just type that in and it'll pop right up. And you're welcome, Moon. Thanks for being part of the show. You helped me out there. Thanks for reminding me it was called Dungeons. I'm becoming sleep deprived. Um, and thanks for listening. And I hope the review was okay. And I hope I didn't give anything away. I was trying to be really restrictive there and omit as much as I could. So yeah. Um, s- wow, 6 a.m. in France. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad it was a good show. And bonjour over there. I almost said bon matin, but that's not something that you say. Bonjour. Have a good day. And I'm going to go to sleep, folks. I hope you all enjoyed that. And I will see you all Tuesday for Realm News Flash and this upcoming Thursday, where you'll get the full detailed review of a Minecraft movie with special guests and now recurring guests. Well, you haven't heard that first episode yet, but soon to be recurring guest because the second episode with him will be coming out the following Thursday, where we dive into the oldest Minecraft SMP server, and he is the owner of the museum of that. So we do a deep dive into that world and explore it, which is really fun. So, anyways, lots coming up on Realm News. And also, while I'm here, just to remind you all, at April 24th is the Canadian University, Concordia University, the Milieu Institute, Tag Lab, Mindblock team is joining me on April 24th. In just a couple weeks, it's going to be a blast. So I hope to see you all there because we're going to be I'm going to be discussing their research with them all, and it is super exciting what they do. And we're going to be delving into one of their projects called Sunblock One. You're going to hear from 3 different researchers. One is Dr. Bart Simon. Then I have Rosie and Quinn that are joining me, who are research assistants on that team. Super fascinating stuff and a lot of exciting things coming to Realm News. I'm so excited to share this with you all, and I can't wait for you to listen to that. And coming up on this Thursday is a full in-depth discussion with NightSteak about a Minecraft movie where we're going to break this down into detail. You're going to get some wonderful insights from NightSteak because he really did a lot of research into this before our recording together. And I think you all will get a lot out of that. I'm excited for you all to listen to that. And it's a super long episode. It's nearly 2 hours. It's 2 hours long. So brace yourself, find somewhere comfy, or listen to it in portions, I recommend. Anyways, I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for listening to the show. It is always a pleasure being your host, and I wish you all happy crafting. The Dark Lord, signing out. Hey, Realm News fans, it's your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. I am here to tell you that your support means everything. Spread the word by telling friends, liking, and commenting on Spotify or Good Pods. Find me on X, Blue Sky, Reddit, or via email at bio.link/realm news. For more content, join my Patreon at Copper or Diamond. I even have a VIP tier for early episodes, bonus content, newsletters, and ebooks. Find out more at bio.link/realm news. No pressure though. Just keep listening, liking, and sharing. That's more than enough. Happy crafting, and see you at the next Realm News.